In today's video on Roblox Bee Swarm Simulator, I want to give you guys out there who are maybe on the beginner or the mid-game section of the game some tips on how to really become pro inside of the game. This is a question I get asked a lot, so I want to kind of give you guys my journey of how I got to this point where I am today. Okay, so we're here inside of Bee Swarm today, and I've been playing this game for approximately 5 years now, or 4 or 5 years, somewhere around that time, and I kind of want to be able to give you guys a little bit of input on how I got to be this pro inside the game. Starting off with my first tip, and we'll save a super big one for the end. I've got 3 tips for you today. We'll start out with this first one being to be able to get more bees. You gotta get more bees inside of Bee Swarm if you have less than 25 bees. Getting over 25 bees inside of Bee Swarm is such a big thing because when you unlock 25 bees, one, you're gonna be able to make even more honey inside the game and collect more pollen, stuff like that, but you're also gonna be able to unlock all of these different like realms, or not, what are they called, the areas inside of the map. And with these new areas come brand new fields which offer better flowers, which means more honey, and of course being able to get more pollen, not honey, I've said that wrong. The more pollen that you make, the more honey that you're going to be able and get, or at least the faster you're going to be able to make it. For instance, let's just say that you don't have even 15 bees yet inside of Bee Swarm. This is kind of a little troublesome because you don't have the pine tree forest unlocked, you don't have the pumpkin patch unlocked, and you also don't have fields like the rose and the cactus fields unlocked as well. And these are needed for a lot of quests because I'm sure, as you probably already know, quests are super important for beginning to mid-game players because they can give such great rewards. And if you do ones like the black bear quest, you can actually get a mythic egg at the very end of those quests, which is something that's super important. And of course, like I mentioned a moment ago, getting more bees also equals making more honey as well, which is something super good because not only are they collecting honey, but they are also making these new tokens as well, especially if they are boost tokens, which multiply the pollen that you get for a certain color flower. But they also make bomb tokens as well, which collects all of the pollen from a certain group of surrounding flowers as well. Depends if you have a buzz bomb or like just a regular kind of bomb. So getting different types of bees inside of Bee Swarm Simulator has to be my first recommendation to you overall. This is something super important inside of the game. My second tip for you today inside of Bee Swarm has to be leveling up those bees, in which we just talked about a moment ago. That's right, leveling up your bees is something that's super important as well, because the higher level your bees are, the faster they're going to move, which is important for how fast they can get back to the hive or to the field so they can make more money, or more honey I should say, whoops. But they also collect more pollen as well when they're out gathering, the higher level they are. And of course, something that we all probably think of first when we think of leveling up our bees is they get to do more damage and they can attack more monsters or mobs around the map as well. Some like the spider or the stump snail, things like that, or even the coconut crab. And another honorable mention that probably needs to go right here among the leveling up stage for the bees is probably to get gear as well when you enter into these new levels and stuff like that, because as you're leveling up your bees, you might be thinking, wait a minute, should I be investing this inside of getting more bees, or should I be getting better gear? In my opinion, I think that once you have enough bees to be able to get inside a certain area that you've unlocked, the best thing to do is firstly to upgrade all of your bees to the level in which you can defeat all of the mobs in that certain area, and then my recommendation would be having to be able to get all of the gear in that area before you do anything else with your bees. That's the model that I used when it came to leveling up in Bee Swarm Simulator, and it really helped me in the long run because I wasn't stressed about really having to get anything that was way far off like I kind of am now with the Tide Popper and things like that, or even the coconut belt. Okay, so up to this point we have talked about the fact that you should be able to get more bees and also to level up all of your bees as something that's super important inside of Bee Swarm if you are a beginner to mid-game player. Now we're fixing to move on to my number 1 recommendation for you guys, or my last tip, number 3 for today. But if nobody's told you yet, my friend, you are seen, you are known, and you are loved by both Jesus and by me. And if you've been enjoying this video on Bee Swarm so far, please make sure to give it a like and even consider subscribing to Super Short Central, where we're having more and more Bee Swarm Swarm content make its way onto here. We also have a Roblox fan group that I'd love for you to join. The link for that's going to be down in the description below, or this card right here. I'd love for you to join that as well. We also have some Roblox merch you can get for your Roblox avatar, especially this autumn merch as well, that's going to be leaving on October 1st in about 2 weeks, so time is running out to be able and get that. Make sure you go and grab it before it's gone for good. And we also have some real life merch, I should say, actually, that you can get as well at our real life merch store right here. Make sure to go check that out all once you are done, or even right now if you want to during this video. But now let's go ahead and talk about our final tip that I have for you today. And that final tip, my friends, is choosing a hive color right now. Now, some of the beginners may be wondering what that is, and basically all it is basically choosing what color bees you want to primarily have inside of your hive and what color fields you want to really grind inside of the game, because it helps you make so much more honey. This is what I myself did when I was probably at about, level 7 or level 8 for all of my bees inside the game. Maybe even before then at level 6, I had already decided firmly that I wanted to be a blue hive. So I tried to get as much blue gear as possible. I tried to get as many blue bees as possible. And guess what? It actually ended making me more money even faster. Because even though I didn't actually have my Supreme Star Amulet, I was still making more money because all my bees were focused on one blue color, and it was making me money or honey so much faster than I was just going out into the fields and like doing whatever I wanted. I recommend going and seeing kind of which hive color you think would look better for you, or if you're already thinking, hey, you know what, I like the red hives a lot better than I do either of the others, and I'm really thinking I want to be a red hive someday. That's great. Go ahead and start leaning toward that direction. Get all the red gear you can, get all the red bees you can, and even look up a pro's guide on how to be like a late game guide to be able to really see what their hives look like, and try and mimic that with some of the lower level bees. For example, I don't have all buoyant bees in my hive yet, so I've actually kept some frosty bees in there because that's kind of a good replacement for them if you don't have them yet. And frosty bees are so easy to get, anybody can get those. But now that we've talked about this and you have a little bit better idea about how to be able to become a pro in Bee Swarm, you can click one of these videos right here to be able and really help you to be able and continue your playing, because we're making a lot of videos on the channel for people just like you who aren't necessarily pro yet inside the game. So click one of these videos right here on the side of your screen and let's go have some fun.